Welcome to the as yet untitled Conrad show, where it's just me and another dude acting like normal people, sitting facing the same direction. I'm sitting here
like everybody does when they have a conversation.
Yeah, just like everybody else. Yep.
And I always hate the couple who have to sit on the same side of the table when they go eat somewhere.
Oh, dude.
Like, that's just horrible. This is horrible. I mean, come on.
I tried the same side of my buddy the other day.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah.
I just like to be looking out into the room. All right, so as I speak, I'm wildly distracted. I am watching a TV where a man with no arms is playing bean toss. Yeah, a quadra amputee playing cornhole and killing it every single time. Well, he's lower to the ground. I imagine that's a distinct advantage.
Don't dismiss his accomplishments.
Yeah. Yep.
I would say he's still at a disadvantage to everybody else.
There's a whole league. Yeah, I know. He stands on the top of the podium and he's still shorter than third place.
I just imagine if you don't have arms and legs, you just have a lot of time to practice cornhole.
Tell me how do you feel about this? Like the explosion of cornhole. We just saw like hundreds of people packed out in a gymnasium.
That's strange. I mean, I always think, first of all, when I think about cornhole, I always think it's strange that it's a game named after something that's probably still illegal in Alabama, right?
Well, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I imagine it's one of those games that has like different names throughout.
I think I've heard it called Bago.
Can you gamble? Oh man, he's on.
Oh yeah, you can gamble on anything.
What? Dude, that is rad. The hover.
He's on the hover.
He's on the hover scooter,
yeah.
Dude. That is perfect. Man, he's got truck nuts on the front of that hover scooter. Anyway, all right. I think I just had an idea for a show.
All right.
I think we'd get canceled immediately. I'm glad that nobody else can see what we're saying because it's pretty funny. This guy's draining him, dude.
I like. In my mind, I hope he's like a big shit talker too about cornhole.
Oh,
right?
fuck yeah, dude. I hope so.
Fuck you got hands. I'm fucking kicking your ass. No hands, motherfucker.
Well, like, imagine being his, like, protege. Like, you can't, like, imagine being, like, a whole-bodied person, like, throwing your entire body into the cornhole bag. The corn bag? The bag hole?
The bag hole. Have you ever played cornhole yourself?
Yes. No, it's a regular thing with me and my nephews.
Gotcha.
I learned that if you adopt the frisbee golf putting style, if you spin the piss out of it, then if you give the bag inertia, then you can kind of aim it a little bit better.
Yeah, I like frisbee golf.
Look, he's doing the worm. Oh man!
He's doing
handstand?
Elbow stand.
Yes.
Elbow stand.
Yoga
It's not
pose.
really.
All right, sorry.
You can't call that a handstand technically.
Boy, I tell you what, there's just some stuff that you can't account for when you do this type of shit. Like
It's like a little embarrassing how quickly I'll make fun of a poor kid who doesn't have arms or legs.
Well, he's got tattoos, dude. He's
got
smiling.
tattoos.
He's a champion, dude.
You know.
All right, Sports Center, inclusivity. That one worked out for everybody, I think, Now what?
Hey, so I was thinking when I was walking over here, like, I want to, like, get into, like, a little bit of, like, the process, right? Like, the writing process. Like, I don't know, like...
Oh, you have a writing process?
Well, on some level, not a strict one. Like, I don't think of myself as, like, someone who just, like, sits down and decides, hey, I'm going to write comedy today.
Right.
Right? Now, it usually happens on days off because I have a lot of time. My coworkers give me crap because they think, like, the inspiration comes from the weed, but I'm like, I'm smoking the weed whether I'm writing comedy or not, So the weed's just there. It's not like I need the weed for comedy. It's
here
just,
nor there. No, right. I need
But-
weed to tolerate people.
But it definitely comes, like, in waves and, like intensely when it happens, right? Like, I feel like it's, like a little bit of, like, a storm or energy that I need to, like, harness while it's happening.
Yeah, that's why you carry a notebook on you at all times.
Exactly.
I got the freaking fanny pack marsupial pouch on me at all times. It's a notebook, pow, ha, now that idea won't escape me.
Yeah.
Gone are the days of, what was I looking for? Oh, here's an idea. Oh, fuck. Where's my notebook? What's
Yeah,
the
like
last thing I wrote
sometimes-
down? A lot of it isn't worth it. Photographers get paid based on how nice their outfit is. That's the last observation I had.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey,
I need to get a
gotcha.
$2,000
I wrote
suit.
the one I wrote down today is I feel the same about Jesus as I do the Dave Matthews Band. It's not so much them, I just hate their fans.
Okay. There's a lot of other angles you could also go with that too.
Yeah.
You know, stinky sandals and
Stinky, yeah, there is. Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
too much in between shit. And
Yeah.
always having to stand for something.
Yeah. Emptying
And
your
dumping,
emptying
dumping
your
a septic tank
on a bridge
yeah.
grave as a tourist bus goes below it with a
Throwing
congressman
poop.
on it.
Yeah, but then you turn it into a song. Much
Yeah, 'cause
like
like-
Jesus turned water into wine.
Like anytime I hear Dave Matthews Band song, I enjoy it. It's just, and I think it's definitely kind of like the frat boyish aspect of the crowd that like they've never been my best of friends. You know?
No, yeah, no. Right.
Yeah, bros.
I don't understand how, like, dudes with that much testosterone get into Dave Matthews. I don't understand that. You know,
Like what bands do you think they should be listening to?
who does Audio Slave?
Audio Slave.
Yeah. I'm still around. That's what they should listen to.
Gotcha.
I don't know who's listening to those guys though. I've never been to one of those shows.
I've never been to it. No. Like what's your like what's I don't even know. Like I always hear you perform music, but like what's the music you enjoy listening to?
I fucking don't.
You know?
Really? Well, okay. There is one band that is Londas. You know, they might have I don't know, 3 different albums. Sounds like 3 different bands.
Gotcha.
And the thing is about it, if you look into it, it's like everybody who's in the band is involved with the writing process, and the lead guy himself is like a good enough performer
Yeah.
to like go get booked by himself. And I know a guy, Sebastian Bordeaux, out of Eureka, that's met him. You know, like I haven't heard a song of theirs that I don't like.
Right on.
And I don't know if it's just my Spotify free algorithm. I don't know how I found them.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy those guys a lot. Like I've been learning how to play. When I was driving a lot, I'd learn how to play harmonica, listen to one of their songs, figure out what key it's in, and then just
I've
you know,
always
huff
thought
away.
about. I've never played any musical instrument, but I've always thought about like harmonica would be kind of nice. If I ever thought about trying to try to get beer,
Alexandria, pick.
but yeah, you know, but yeah, definitely on the back to the right, like sometimes there's like a word or a phrase that I like, and then I try to build a bit like that. My bit about how there's only naked ghosts is because I like the term spectral haberdashery, right? The idea that there's like some sort of afterworld clothing line, you know.
You work backwards.
Sometimes,
Basically.
man, it just I don't know. It like, thank you. It just hits like that. But it, man. See, I think, at the moment, like, I'm a lot stronger in the writing process than the performing process.
Well, what is your process like?
You know, like we talked about, like I get an idea, right, and I'll start writing things down, and then if I'm at the house by myself, I'll literally like pace back and forth, right, and I'll work it out loud, you know. But
You
like,
talk to yourself in your apartment while you pace.
or think it out while I
All
like
right.
it. But like when it comes to like day of the like the day of the open mic, like I've never written out bits entirely.
Yeah.
Right, I always write out like an outline with keywords.
So yeah. Those are called something. Yeah. Cues maybe. I don't know. Hit.
Yeah. And then like
right. It's a shorthand.
like
for,
normally
a whole
like
bit.
Nomads is like, you know, a 15-minute walk for me, probably 7 minutes for most people. But
So you got time to like.
but yeah, I work it out in my head.
While
It's
you're
like
doing it,
like
yeah.
phrasing and stuff, you know. And you know, in the beginning, I think it was just in the beginning. It's not that long ago, but in the beginning, it was just like desperate just to fill time, right?
Right.
And we're like, well, no. So now I think more about like setups and middle bits and bits I want to end on, and I think one thing I really like is when I first get up there, I like to have a quick bit, right? Like get them laughing or chuckling quick, right?
Right.
Because I feel like it's almost like as a cook or a chef or whatever you want to call me, I think about it was a meal, right? People will wait a little bit longer for their entree if they have an appetizer in front of them.
Right.
Right? So you give them a little quick laugh, and then you can do like a setup, because I usually do like a quick laugh, and then usually that's when I go into like one of my stories from the 80s or 90s, or which is a little bit longer. Because in the beginning, I thought I was always making them wait too long for the punchline initially, and then they just lost interest.
Thing about stand-up, I've noticed is that if I have enough opportunities at bat for a 3-minute set or a 5-minute set, then I can figure out everything that I need to do to succeed throughout that 5-minute set. Where I get a little bit hung up is at the 20 and the 40-minute mark.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't get that many opportunities to get up there and talk for that long.
Yeah.
And I don't really because, okay, so my strategy for like 5 minutes, right? If I'm going to an open mic, I've got all of these jokes that I know. I've got this notebook, right? Like Jay Leno is dyslexic, doesn't write anything down. If it's good, you'll remember it. And I drink a lot, but like, so I got this Peyton Manning playbook in my mind, 3 to 5 different ways to go, at least on the open.
Yeah.
And that's when I'm just like, hey, everybody, make some noise for the BART staff here. Get the guy's name right. And then, how you feel about blank? Nothing. Blank, nothing. Blank. Reaction. Blank. Less of a reaction. All right, let's go with option 3. Door number 3, you got, 5 minutes on, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'll do that, and then I'll, like with Nomad specifically, it's like take the line that I ended on, and then open with it the next week.
Yeah.
And then see if you can't make some connections.
Yeah, I've
that are
noticed
new.
how just the difference in like the few rooms I go to, like things that were great at Nomads, doesn't work at like New Providence is a great example, right?
Yeah.
Like that whole story about me breaking out the girlfriend for the Cure concert, and then me finishing without 38 years ago. So nowadays, when I break a 16-year-old girl out of her house, I make sure her parents are home. Big laugh at Nomads groans.
Oh yeah. Totally.
You
Well, what you're talking about is 2 different audiences. You got some people that you got younger crowds that are all into like murder porn, and then you've got like Rogers people that are into murder mysteries.
Yeah,
and it's the same shit. It's just got like a different flavor to it. Like shout out to Brandon Devine. I've been seeing him do a lot better here. I don't know, recently. I feel some of the heinous stuff that makes everybody hate him that he says on stage sometimes has started to sound a little bit sweet.
Yeah.
And it's just the weirdest thing to see. Because there is a thing that happens, and I've probably said it before, it's like when you start comedy, like, starting in your hometown fucking blows. Because, like, what happens is like, anybody that's in the, anybody that's booking when you first start.
Yeah.
Is anybody that's booking 3 years into it. And they remember how you were when you first started.
Yeah.
Like they remember that. They don't see all the other stuff. So it's like, I've heard some people say it's like the best thing to do is to go, if you're going to start comedy, is like drive an hour out of town and go ruin your name up there.
Yeah.
And then, once you figure it out, like come back and then start doing
It's the same
stuff.
approach I have to pedicures. Like, I don't want anyone close to me knowing what my feet look like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll go a couple towns over and get that shit taken care of.
Right.
But yeah, no. Yeah,
Do you have
sometimes
heinous
like,
feet?
and then, but sometimes
Mike?
though, What?
Well, do you have heinous feet? Do you have like?
Not really. That's just a good bit.
No. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
What did you have?
I don't know. I just thought maybe there's like a horn or different
No,
colors.
no. They're big. They're like some Fred Flintstone feet, but
Okay.
there's a lot of me to hold up.
Size 15.
The 14,
Okay.
but in
Way
like
off.
triple E on the wide side. You know, for those ladies who like a man with a big foot.
So like, are they whipping out actual construction tools when they like do your pedicures, dude?
Yeah, the old grinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a full belt sander. They call a carpenter.
Man, there was a time like I was never like they're never like horrible, but I used to be kind of sensitive to my feet, and that's when I decided I'm just gonna go get a pedicure every paycheck, right?
Nice.
You get like a nice foot massage.
How
right?
do you not kick that little Vietnamese lady in the face?
Man, a couple of times. Yeah, one time that like I had like 3 of them save me from a fall because I got out of the chair and I was all oiled up and like slipped, and I was like, man, yeah. And I like the ones who are rough on me. You know what I'm saying? Like I want like someone to get in there on that massage. You know, I don't want like a gentle one. You know, like.
I don't know. I always feel like super insecure because I'm about to kick this lady in the face.
Give it a tickle?
Yeah.
Yeah, right,
No, 'cause
yeah.
it's like she's touching
Yeah,
the bottom of your foot,
yeah.
and it's really, and I guess like, so, I really miss going into random barber shops and getting a shitty haircut.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of miss that because it's just a bunch of, I don't know, vain idiots talking shit about anything.
Dude, we got the classic one just right over here.
I know,
Oh,
dude.
but
That
they've
was the
been there-
last one I got. Actually.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
There's one after that.
I mean, there is combs and a blue fluid there right now.
No, I remember.
Yeah,
Like the oldest dude who was there was giving me this haircut from like segregation era Arkansas.
Yeah, it's
And,
definitely like you're in the Andy Griffin show for like the time that
exactly.
you're
Yeah,
there,
no,
right,
that's what
right.
I was going for.
Yeah,
And he found alopecia before anybody
Yeah,
else. Like he found a bald
alopecia.
spot, and then he thought he did it for a second, and then he had a fucking heart attack. Like, I had to be like, I got a scar.
Yeah.
It's a big scar. And then I just didn't look at it. I went out that night, and everyone's like, what's wrong with your head? And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I used to keep the head clean shaven for a while, like years and years actually.
Yeah.
But it's just too much work.
Yes.
You know, like it's bad enough I don't have hair. I have to like work at it now too. Like it's just like
That's true, yeah.
Add insult to injury.
I
You know. You know.
That's
But
why
that's
you
the
gotta-
one thing I like. I think I said it the other night. That like, anytime you and Ron are in the house, like I'm no longer the baldest or the oldest in
Yeah.
the room, just the
Yes.
fattest
Perfect.
usually.
Yeah. Well,
That's all right.
there's one guy who hasn't come around in a while.
yeah.
Of course, he's gotten multiple. He got like the gastric surgery.
Man, I don't
Stomach
know. Like
stapled.
number one, I just
Thing
don't like
is,
the idea of like someone cutting me open, right? Right, you know.
Sure, but like, all right.
And I feel like it's cheating a little bit, right? You know, like
So,
yeah.
what? I'd rather have that person be like kind of self-actualized than the kid that was. Okay, well, I don't know.
The thing is, I used to be. I mean, I talk about it quite a bit from stage, but like, I think at my heaviest, I was like 427.
I'm saying people that were like formerly fat are some
Yeah.
of the most motivated maniacs that I've ever
Yeah,
met.
yeah, you get past that because like the whole time you are fat, what you've done differently than the beautiful people is like develop a personality, so people will
Sure.
talk to you, and then all of a sudden the fat's gone.
Well, dude,
Right.
if I found the cure for alopecia that didn't destroy my kidneys or liver, shout out to that one medication that keeps getting advertised to me. Dude, imagine I can't imagine like if like 3 years from now I was Fabio,
Yeah.
you know, with like eyebrows and everything, dude.
Yeah.
Mustache and everything.
Yeah.
dude, I'd be unstoppable. I would be
Yeah.
a problem. And
Yep.
I don't mean like that in necessarily like a good way. Like it would actually be an issue, I think.
When I was younger, I used to tell people that God made me fat from keeping me and taking over the world. So I was like, man, you put this brain in a beautiful body, you're like goose stepping to my tune.
I watched a movie yesterday called The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then Bigfoot.
Man, I think I saw that online. I didn't. Yeah.
It was, yeah. It could have been 45 minutes. There's a whole bunch of, like, I really want to follow the director.
Yeah.
Because the parts that were good were so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd he kill Bigfoot?
Same way he killed Hitler.
Really?
Shot him. Yeah.
Just.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, so it's like, the super country guy from Big Lebowski?
Sometimes you eat bar.
Oh,
Sometimes
oh,
bar
yeah.
eats stew.
Well, he's got that face, right? And he
Yeah,
doesn't
Tom,
age. Something.
he's like classic cowboy.
Anyway, that motherfucker, he's like Sean Connery, American style, because he doesn't age. Anyway, he is the guy who kills Hitler, and then the FBI tracks him down, and the plot, spoiler alert, the plot goes, no, the plot is fucking awesome, because, like, the way that they lay it out is like, oh, he killed Hitler, that's fantastical, that's ridiculous, and then they explain in a rational way how that could have come to be. And I think they do a good job.
Gotcha.
It takes a little long. And then they explain Bigfoot, right? Now, this guy who kills Hitler, FBI contacts him. They're like, all right, we've got this fucking wild beast. It's taken out these large creatures in north central Canada.
Those look like bacterial infections.
This thing has the original plague. All right?
Yeah.
If it gets a bird, we're fucked. You got to go in there and get him. And then he does. But then he feels bad. He felt bad about killing Hitler, because he was really good at tracking, not really good at killing.
Gotcha.
and he shoots Bigfoot in the head like right away, and it doesn't kill him. And then he's like trying to like give Bigfoot an honorable death, but Bigfoot wasn't dead. Tricks him, beats the shit out of him. ... He kills Bigfoot again.
Man.
I don't know. But there's a whole bunch of just extraneous, it goes into his childhood and and all this, I don't know, extra stuff to carry
Maybe
the plot.
like
there's some stuff, like, you could explain in a sentence what takes 45 minutes on film to,
yeah.
like, what is Game of Thrones? Kill, fuck, it gets cold, kill, fuck,
Totally
dragon.
kill a fuck.
Yeah, right.
A lot.
Right. Now, that isn't the same entertainment value as watching it, but that is basically it.
I always know, like, people talk about, usually, like, if you have a time machine, I know, like, the popular answer is to go back and kill Hitler. But I think, how about we go back and get Hitler accepted to art school, right? Maybe instead of killing Hitler, we're going to redeem Hitler.
What if that was worse, though?
I always assumed it was just a Jewish guy who turned him
so-
down for art school, and that's where it all started.
They also covered that in the movie. So, like,
Really?
Cowboy gives an impassioned speech. He feels bad about killing Hitler because even though he killed Hitler, he didn't kill the thing that he represented. That went on,
Yeah, it's still going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It is crazy.
To me, that is bananas.
It
I
is
guess it's
bananas.
like, just people get bored and then try to, like, blame shit outside of themselves for their misery. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. You probably know most of that information because they assume you're on the same team with the hairdo.
Oh,
You're right
wow.
there.
I mean,
Yeah.
I blend in,
Yeah, me too. One time, man, when I first moved to this town,
I don't know
long
shit about
time ago,
barbecue, though.
like 25 years ago, I was crazy broke when I moved here. So I was like donating plasma, right?
Hell yeah, dude.
Right. So I totally got into this long, involved conversation with this girl who's a big meth head because I think she saw the mark on my arm, right, and thought I was in the club. Because she started showing me tattoos and stuff. And I was just like, what's going on? And she's like, yeah, I banged up and it was really rough last night. I was like, okay. And then I realized, oh, yeah. Nope. I'm just trying to pay
She's
my
not
bills.
donating plasma.
Yeah, I'm not
I just need a pack
intravenously
of
using
cigarettes, yeah.
pool cleaner, Yeah.
Oh, man. Well,
Yeah.
think about this, like, I think the cartel is doing some good in bringing the quality of the meth up for the relatively general user. Because, like, if a lot of these guys are doing, like, this shake and bake thing in the woods, like, making meth in a 2-liter Pepsi bottle, like, how many steps are there to doing that aren't there if you do it in a fucking laboratory?
Yeah.
There's so many opportunities to fuck up, and if you cut it with gasoline instead of ether, You know, it doesn't take a doctor to tell you that smoking gasoline is bad for your skin.
Yeah.
You know? And that's really all I care about at this point. Skincare.
You just want to make sure that meth heads are getting quality meth instead of the bullshit that like guys are making in the trunk of their car.
The thing about meth is it's a good drug because it doesn't kill people like fentanyl does.
Yeah.
No, like Lemmy lived till he was 67. Lead singer of Motorhead.
Yeah.
Smoked meth every day.
Yeah.
Like Jimi Hendrix was like, who is this guy? He creeps me out. That guy outlived fucking Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, it's true.
And fucking like, he had a meeting with a doctor one time.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, doctor was like, there's no point for you to quit doing meth. Like, you know, your body is basically attuned to it. If you stop right now, you can potentially die from withdrawal. You know?
Yeah, Mickey Hart, the drummer for the Grateful Dead, big proponent of smoking of meth.
Really?
Yeah.
Current drummer.
He's always the drummer.
Wow.
Always. He's got to be in his 70s now. I mean, I don't know if he's still, but like back in the day, he thought if it was like in a pure form, it was good. It was more like the things that like made it dirty that was bad about it.
Honestly, that's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I mean is, like, if you want to live in a gutter, you can do so until fucking 80. If you have clean shit.
Yeah.
The problem with it is that because you can make it out of garbage at the fucking grocery store, the motherfuckers are doing it wrong. You know? And just because you have a tank top doesn't mean it's a lab coat, you know?
Man, one time, it's about like 15, 17 years ago, me and my buddy were out in Madison County looking for a place to fish. And man, we turned down this drive. It was right by the Kings River. And these four most suspicious looking hillbilly dudes in big old, almost knee-high Galatian boots were like, you need to leave like right now. And we're like, all right, man.
Okay, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, fentanyl is bad. Like I heard, like they're people are like cutting like things like Xanax and stuff with like fentanyl.
Everything, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I have a buddy who goes to a lot of festivals and like he's a big Fish fan like I am, and which makes I know everyone laughs at me. It's fine. Hey, man.
Sorry.
Still going since '83. All right.
Yeah.
I'm hopefully gonna go see them. They're gonna be at Vegas at the Sphere in April for 4 nights. But Cameron Carter gives me a lot of crap but that's fine. But my whole thing is like, even besides like fentanyl, he take like a tester at like a 3-day show. If he like tries to score like some acid, about 1 out of 3 times is just bath salts. Right.
Whoa!
Right, yeah, like where's the ethic? You know, where's the?
I thought everybody was on the same team, hippies.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Back when Hunter S. Thompson ran for sheriff of Aspen in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Get her if you get.
All right.
Vixen.
You tell Alexandria.
Vixen.
Nope. No, never mind.
Well, the reindeer.
Yes. Donner.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a weird name for a reindeer.
I'm gonna edit this part.
But back in the 70s, when Hunter S. Thompson ran for sheriff of Aspen, and he almost won. The conservatives got so scared they were like literally wheeling people out of hospitals on the hospital beds to vote. And he shaved his head so he could say that his opponent was a long hair. But one of his policies was public stocks for bad drug dealers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Good.
Hey.
Sorry.
No, we're trying to get the bartender's attention. But hey, nice to see you too. But yeah.
This is gonna be tough.
Yeah. So, how are things at the shop? Are you still at the?
Pretty chaotic. We got a bunch of different managers that want to do everything their own way, and I'm trying to.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to create a way
Thank
that is,
you.
like, easy enough to, I'm trying to make the easiest way, the most obvious way available to them so that everybody does shit the same way.
Yeah. It seems like it shouldn't be that hard, right?
You
Like,
would think,
you would
and
think.
you'd be right, but
Yeah, I understand.
what
though.
happens is it's similar to our Nazi problem. You know, you got a bunch of people that are bored and
Yeah.
think that because they're bored that they are suffering, and that is not. Yeah. So there's a lot
Gotcha.
of people who just make up problems. Thank you. Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, I would hate to. I would really, really be disappointed if the thing went under. But at the same time, it's like anything else I have available to me is going to be more lucrative and maybe
Yeah.
not as. I mean, maybe like harder, but
Man, I'm old enough to remember when you went into a head shop, you couldn't call it a bong. You
that's
had to
when
call
I
it a
I
water
started
pipe.
there. Yeah, no.
Water pipe.
And that was fun because you could call them like different euphemisms, like, oh, check out this Dr. Seuss number. Oh, you want this bobsled piece? It takes a team of 4 to operate. You know?
I think the last bong I bought, it was at your shop. I know it was.
You still
it
have
died, it died back in the summer, thanks to tile floors.
Where was it?
Where did I drop it?
Yeah.
In the living room. I put it on the edge of the coffee table. Boom. I had that thing like at least 5 years. That's pretty good for a stoner.
Shop
Yeah.
ain't been open longer than 6 years. Shit.
Yeah,
well, I turned 32 in like 2 days.
You what?
I turned 32 in 2 days.
Do you really? Well,
Yeah, that's
early
crazy.
happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah. 32. 32. I turned 32 22 years ago. What? I guess 2001?
Ah.
2000, yeah, 9/11.
Are you my dad? No.
You know.
Well, no, my dad had. My parents had kids late.
My dad had me crazy late. I think
How
I might have told
crazy
you this.
late?
My dad was 56 when I was born in 69.
I don't think we've ever covered this.
Are you serious?
I'm
yeah, my
serious.
dad was 26 years older than my mom. My mom, when my dad married my mom, he's my age right now, 54, and my mom was 28.
Jeez.
But man, 1966, just a little bit of a different world, right?
Oh yeah.
Single mom, 2 kids. My dad was a charmer, nice bank account, you know.
What
But
does
yeah,
that mean
my
in
dad was so
69?
old. How old was he? He was exempt from World War II draft because of his age, and that he had 2 children at the time. But he went anyways. So when I was like 8 or 9, I asked him. I was like, "Hey, Dad, why did you go to war if you didn't have to?" And then he's like, "Sometimes you gotta get away from the family." I'm like, I was thinking he's trying to be funny. I think he
No.
just meant it, right? It's just like when he's like old school,
I would rather go fight the most evil
Yeah,
people
yeah.
in the
He was in
world
South Pacific.
and shoot them
Right,
in the face.
yeah.
Than I would
And
hear about.
man, dude, I mean, he lived to be 8. He died in 98. He was 83. And
I sympathize with that, but I don't think that it's a legitimate reason for there to be constant war.
there shouldn't, no.
Everybody hates their family so much that they're willing to go kill somebody else's family.
Yeah.
Just so that they don't have to hang out with their own.
Yeah, he
That's a
but
different
man,
angle I never.
But like, even though like how long, that was a long time ago, but like he had nightmares like well into his 70s. Like he'd wake the whole house up sometimes.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, saying he can't find his ammo. Right, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and but yeah, my old man.
There weren't guns in the house, were there?
He's like my old man's like ridiculous, like grace, like volunteers for World War II, gets like a GI loan after the war, builds a ridiculously successful business, buys houses for his children for wedding gifts, puts grandchildren through college, you know.
Cool.
And I'm like, hey, you know, I do stand up now. but here when I left that. I think I was talking about earlier before we were doing the podcast. I moved out 10 days after my 18th birthday, and here's like my dad's advice when I left. He's like, I got two things to tell you. If she's pregnant or you're in jail, don't call. Good luck. Right, yeah.
I had
and then he helped out, but like, yeah.
I had a conversation with my dad that was really funny. Right after my first DUI, I was broke at the time, so I picked up a second job. I was working like 10, 12 hours straight. Sleep as much as you can type shit. And yeah, I called my dad and I was miserable. I was like, oh, Dad, I'm fucking working 2 jobs. I don't get to sleep fucking 5 hours. All this shit sucks. Did you get somebody pregnant? And I was like, no, but I do have bad news still.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that makes me feel better, actually.
Yeah, I took care of that back when I was 36 and I got the big snip. Yeah, just dumping loads without discretion ever since then.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's got to be nice and scary.
Yeah. I was worried because of my dad, right? Like,
Yeah.
56 is still going on. Yeah.
Well, you could do the Bob De Niro or the Larry King. Yeah.
Or like Al Pacino, right? 83.
Yeah.
That's a more recent, like 83.
I said Al Pacino. What was
Yeah.
his name?
I think I like Al Pacino enough that I'm happy he's impregnating women. You know?
I don't think he's doing that, though. Who was the guy I got confused for?
What?
Who was the guy? Bob De Niro?
Robert De Niro?
Robert De Niro, yeah.
No, wait. What are we talking about?
The oldest Hollywood celebrity to get somebody.
I think Al Pacino. I think it just happened like last year. Like he's like 83.
I think it's Bob De Niro, though.
I
I
hope
think we're confusing the two. Al Pacino.
No. All right.
I think it was De Niro.
Hooah. Right. I know who Al Pacino.
Yeah.
I know the difference between the two.
I can't.
One is the dad, and the other one's the son in Godfather. Right. Yeah. But it might be both of them. They're both charming. I do know that Al Pacino, and I know that like he got his girlfriend pregnant last year and he was in his 80s.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
No, maybe Bob De Niro did too, and good for him.
Well, like Larry King was doing that type of shit. He was like 80 talking about his like 14-year-old's Little League games.
Yeah.
It was really funny kind of look. I don't know.
I don't know where I fall on boner pills, I think like maybe, like at the time that your body gives out, like maybe you should stop doing it, right? Right?
No, because
I don't. But then it hasn't happened yet, so like I'm sure maybe.
Like for a lot of those guys, like why did you do everything else that you did, if not to just dump into chicks? Like
that's true. I mean, Bob De Niro is doing like blow with like Robin Williams and John Belushi, so he might as well do some Viagra now, right?
Well, I mean, shit, he's used to a certain type of lifestyle. I mean, that's definitely the guy that does that. So.
Yeah.
Wait, so he was hanging out, like partying with dead guys?
Oh yeah, the night that John Belushi died from an overdose, the last 2 people we saw was Robin Williams and Robert De Niro.
Ooh, piss.
Yeah, that's long. And John Belushi, huge influence on me. Like that's like, yeah. And Chris Farley. We lost like I think it's 96 for Chris Farley. I did a Chris Farley impersonation at a prison talent show.
You had a prison talent show?
Yeah, I was at. Well, I think we talked about it before on your podcast. In 2009, I got busted with like 96 pot plants and 11
No.
pounds.
Yeah, we covered that.
Yeah.
Let's go with the talent show.
I was at the talent show.
Who else was performing
because
at
of the
the talent
charge.
show? Let's not talk about you. Let's talk about the prison talent show.
Okay, all right.
Who organized it? Was it your idea?
I don't remember, but like there's people like there's a few guys who I think who
wouldn't guys
had their experience of singing from like church and gospel singing.
Okay.
Right, so they sang, and I did like the Chris Farley like Van Down by the River guy, and I did not win, but my impersonation of Chris Farley was so popular that like other floors of the prison would ask me to come over and
Did you do
it
a
for
cartwheel? Or
I did not know. It's been a long time since I've done a cartwheel. But no, I just did.
You got
Yeah,
prison
yeah.
famous based on your.
Yeah, and I think what it was like you won like $30 worth of commissary for the talent show, right? That's right.
That is just like a comedy gig, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I know, dude. When like, I was so surprised, like when like the because I don't know, I really don't know what anybody makes except for like Rob B told me, you know, he hosted at the Grove, right?
Yeah.
And it was like an out of town headliner, and he got $30 a night.
Yeah,
And,
that's more than it was when I was working there about
Yeah.
a year ago. I haven't gone back there. I think I pissed everybody off. That's okay.
How did you do that?
I think I said the wrong words.
On stage or
Yes.
just afterwards?
On stage.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
You know that big opening I got? I am the hairless cat in the hat. Beat your pussy from the back.
yeah.
Yeah, I did that, and it bombed really bad. It was really bad.
Yeah.
And give it up for your next guy.
Is the Grove a big venue? Like,
So the Grove got a lot of heat around 2020 because they were one of the only clubs to remain open during COVID.
oh,
And there's a couple things that happened when they did that, in my opinion. So, like, huge for them, right?
Yeah.
They kept the club open. There's one of, like, maybe, like, 3 places in the country people could perform, and now...
hey man, bathroom bad.
All right.
If you
All
can,
right, we could put a pause in this.
right on. Thank you.
All right, Up.
Sorry.
Wait a up.
Oh my God.
You gotta watch where that is.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. We're back.
So we established that like maybe both Robert De Niro and Al Pacino have sired children in their 80s.
Yep.
know, We talked about that I was also in a prison talent show,
Yep.
and I did not win.
The drummer for Grateful Dead smokes meth.
But yeah, big Mickey Hart, big
Big
proponent of meth.
Mickey Hart.
Yeah. Yeah, Mickey Hart. Yeah.
Curious. All right, and then what?
I was thinking about a little bit about influences, like were there comedians like before you started doing this? Were you a stand-up fan? Did you watch a lot?
Oh yeah, totally. I was like one of those guys just like watching like Saturday Night Live when I was like 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be able, when I was a kid in the 70s, I could like, there's a part of the hallway where I could sit and watch TV and they couldn't see me. So I'd always sneak back out and watch like that's like the original Saturday Night Live cast. And then, but then also on the stand-up side, like Robert Carlin, like ridiculous influence, like all those HBO specials, you know. I liked him a lot. I mean, I know he's not like a popular guy to talk about now, but like Bill Cosby himself is like amazing. It's amazing stand-up though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate everything he did to those poor women, but it just
But he could perform.
yeah, man. But like, cause like I got in, like people were giving me some crap at work the other day because like I had it on shuffle and like an R. Kelly song came on, right?
Oh yeah.
Right, Bump and Grind. Like the whole Chocolate Factory album is amazing. Just the penny dropper back in the day.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, because of everything he's done. And I was like, well, where do you draw the line, right? I mean, at some point you have to separate artists in their personal lives, or you got nobody, right? Founding fathers of rock and roll, like Jerry Lewis Mayer and his 13-year-old cousin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
12-year-old.
there's Ted Nugent, Steven Tyler buying the guardianship so they can take a 16-year-old girl on tour with them.
Wait, what? I didn't know about. I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
They bought the guardianship.
Yeah, they bought. They bought the guardianship from their parents so they could take her on tour across state lines without being in trouble.
Wow.
Yeah, and Ted Nugent actually married.
Who's the assessor for the guardianship?
Yeah, I mean, it's a horrible thing to say about the parents, right? Like they literally sold their kid to a rock and roller.
Yeah, but what's the price?
I don't know. I don't. I mean,
And who's the guy that decides the price?
Yeah.
I'm more worried about him.
Ted Nugent ended up marrying that girl. So he married someone who he was their legal guardian at one point.
Hey, no. You know,
So I mean, my point is.
that's just the
Right,
what?
like,
That's
where-
the,
like,
Woody Allen School of Business. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, Annie Hall's an amazing movie. Like Bananas. I love all those movies, right? But so I mean, and then you even got how about Salvador Dali, right?
Yeah, what did
right?
he do?
He liked Hitler when Hitler was alive.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, right.
He was the drugs though.
Yeah,
And
burning
that could have
giraffes
been
and
that could
melting
have been
clocks.
that could have been his Kanye moment, you know?
Yeah. Kanye's a more recent one, right?
Right.
Right? Do you decide at the point he starts acting horrible, you don't listen to anything after that, and everything before that's still cool, or I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
One of the two.
I mean, there's some things in my life that maybe it wasn't too cool. Can you still enjoy my comedy now, right?
I would say.
Is everything I do now still predicated by what I did before? Right?
Yeah, well, you got lucky. There's no internet. Most of the victims are dead.
Is that yeah, for sure, man,
Yeah.
for sure. That's the thing, because the world's if there was cameras everywhere in the '80s,
Well, then it wouldn't have been the 80s.
yeah, there wouldn't be good back alley Tijuana sex show stories for me to tell him during my open mics.
Dude, I saw one. I saw one in Austin, Texas. I was hanging out at the boop, cricket the Cape, boop, yeah, it was just the place I was hanging out because it's if you're in Austin and a comedian and you've got nowhere to be, then you can go hang out at the Creek and the Cape. They let you in for free and give you half-price drinks.
Nice.
That's where all the comedians hang out. There's still regular price drinks. But the first night I went in there, I was like, yeah, PBR. And they're like, all right, yeah, no problem. And they're like, $9. And I'm like, all right.
Damn.
I thought it was a joke. It wasn't. It was not a joke. That's how they make their money. But then next night, I told them, I was there for 5 days. I told them that I was a comedian. And then they checked my ID to make sure I was of legal drinking age. And I guess that's the secret password, at that particular club. But I hung out a little bit too long one night. And there was a show where, the closing number was, they had this chick, bent over, and they were just pumping douches into her butt,
Yeah.
And then this trans person who was pumping douches, and they laid out a tarp and all this stuff. It was classy.
Because they're classy.
Yes.
Classy as
Yes. Yeah, I know. Because people,
Yeah.
You don't want poop water on there, and I don't know what she ate or didn't eat. Anyway,
Nothing good's coming out of there. That's fair to say.
well, they made a whole spectacle over how many douches they could pump into this chick, and then for the finale, they the trans operator of the douche injector stood behind. And there might have been a target, there might not. I might be making that up. But had these swimming goggles on and just got sprayed with it. And I was tucked behind the curtain, in the back of the room. I didn't buy tickets to that show, but there's 5 people who were like, what the fuck's going on here? And yeah, I don't know. It was odd. It was I was sitting with a bunch of people that travel way more than I did. Talking about this is the closest to New York I've ever felt out here. And I'm like, this is what's going on out there.
What the fuck? Yeah. I don't know if you were there when I told the story about. I think it was 1986. I'm 17. Me and my 3 friends. I grew up in San Diego, so we're going down to Tijuana for a big night.
Yeah.
And back then, and even now maybe, it was just a wide open town, right? If you had the money and the stomach for it, anything was possible. When I was 12 years old, I bought 3/4 sticks of dynamite yeah, hit that shit in my shoes. My parents wouldn't find it at the shakedown before we went back to America, blew some shit up. But anyways, so like there's like 4 of us going to like a Tijuana back alley sex show. All of us about 17. All of us most likely soaked in Ralph Lauren Polo Sport. And the only reason we're going down there because we knew you couldn't do it in America, and we wanted to see it.
Right.
And then it was all in Spanish. We didn't know what was going on. At one point, there's a woman in a robe. She disrobes, bends over, takes a cucumber in her vagina, and then shoots it across the room into a water bucket that my friend Troy, unfortunately, was standing too close to because he got splashed.
You got splashed?
You know they're not changing that water.
How many shows in a day do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I
wait.
don't know, man. I don't know. And the thing is, that's the second worst thing that happened to Troy that night. Because later in the night, he was talking to a professional woman. And at the same time, there was
professional.
At the same time, there was a blackout. And as soon as the lights went out, man, she got like a fistful of nuts. And the other fist got his wallet and was gone before the lights came on.
Wow.
Yeah. I haven't told that story
Like
in
a
a while.
magic trick, dude.
Yeah, but that happened. Yeah, I haven't told that story in a while. I'm thinking about
amazing.
saving it for his 25th wedding anniversary. but yeah.
Well, how many years in is he?
I mean, I think he's been married 18 years.
All right, so you got,
ways to go.
7 more years until you can.
Yeah, I mean, I could be dead by then. You know, who knows? But hey,
I
so
don't know.
as someone who's like, well, you talk about Austin. I know you go to Tulsa pretty regularly. Is there like a town that you really like going? To?
No,
No.
no. Like every single time I leave town to go to one of these big cities where everybody talks about how cool shit is, it's like I get to experience the lowest tier of that, and I come back here to an area where I can hit everybody up, explain to them my situation, go on at like 10 for an audience of people that aren't exclusively comedians and or actors and or whatevers, you know, like that. And that's the part that fucking kills me, is like, I love this, you know, doing stand-up. I can't reconcile that it's already better or as good as it'll ever be here. Like, especially like, well, yes, for response. Now, if you're trying to be famous or be part of a thing, totally different fucking conversation. We're sitting, you know, we're sitting here right now doing the same shit that those guys should be doing anyway.
Yeah.
You know, and what's the difference? You know, I have a PA. You know, if I want to get booked every night, I can try to do that. You know, and I kind of do. You know, twice a week for my own stuff, plus I have many extra things to do. I'm talking about Nomads and Nomads and fucking New Province and Tulsa. And, I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Do you like it when you go to Tulsa?
Yeah.
The Looney Bin, right?
Yeah. I like the Looney Bin. You gotta watch who is headlining that night. If there's ever a guy with a cowboy hat, I've figured out that so far, if you have a cowboy hat and you're going to the Looney Bin, you're going to sell club out. And if you're doing like a Wednesday show too, then you want to be at that open mic. Like you want to be at that open mic. Because there is 250 people.
Really?
Yeah. I performed for that room sold out one time. And it was a funny deal because there's this one guy, he was a local boxer / promoter / whatever, like a public figure. This guy packed out the club on a Sunday.
Really?
I had just gotten done hosting at the Looney Bin that weekend, and I decided to hang out an extra day because I could. And they're doing another show, and it's fucking sold out. And it's like, this is more people than I've ever performed for this whole weekend, you know? So I'm watching this guy, the headliner, the fighter, you know, and he's like running around, being the boss of everything, telling people like where to put chairs, where to sit type shit. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna wait until the time is right before I ask him for a guest set.
Yeah.
And then I asked him for a guest set later. And I said, motherfucker, you should have asked me like 10 minutes ago. Microphone's right there. Go start the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
So I cold open to a just like the late. Well, no, he's still alive. I cold open to an audience of, like 300 people.
Wow.
And did it. I mean, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
it was scary, sure, but like, I don't know. I feel like it could have gone so much worse. I mean,
What's the longest set you done?
probably like 50 minutes.
50 minutes, really?
Yeah, either at, well, I don't know, like, yeah, just talking. Yeah, probably like 45, 50 minutes, something like that. But my whole thing is, I'm not going to throw away this musician shit,
Yeah.
So, like, for me, it's like, it's hard to tell, because it's like, you're going to talk in between each song. You've got 3 hours of songs. If you do 90 seconds in between each song, you're talking about like 60 songs. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Man, 50 minutes though, that sounds so long. Like, I remember when I first started, and it's gotten a lot better, but like, I used to see that light as like a life preserver in a stormy sea. Like, I'd be like so happy to see that light, right? Yeah, because it's over. And when people were like, people who never done it, when they're like, oh, it's only 5 minutes, I was like, you don't understand. But you get in front of people and talk for 5 minutes, a long 5 minutes.
I think the most fun I've ever had is in like the feature slot, where it's 15 to 20 minutes. You're doing great the whole fucking time, and somebody hits you with the light, and you're like, ah, shit. I guess I'm done.
Yeah.
I wish this would be longer, guys, but good night type of stuff. Anywho.
Yeah, I'm hoping to like get enough material maybe in my later years, do like some cruise ship or something,
Cruise ships are fucking crazy. I know somebody who does some cruise ships, and the deal is, well, at least what she told me, was, all right, you do, I think it's like 3 sets a night,
Yeah.
20 minutes apiece, no repeating material. The cruise is a week.
It's a lot.
You need 7 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, Adam Kessler told me that like you have to have like at least an hour video to submit to like a cruise ship or something.
Yeah.
I was talking about that. But I'm just trying to like find a nice lady with a good divorce settlement,
Plenty of them out here, dude.
Yeah.
Anywho, coming up on an hour.
Is that what you want to do, or?
I think that's what I want to do. I don't know.
I feel like we've kind of.
Well, we covered your writing process, pacing back and forth in your apartment, and
That's right.
talking to
That's right.
yourself for the 15
Yeah, once I
minute
quiet the demons in my head, then I
Yep.
get to the comedy.
Yep.
I usually like you start with making fun of myself, which is always everyone enjoys.
Yep.
Then tell a couple stories from the 80s and 90s. Close with a joke about how much your mom loves dick, and then go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the life,
Yeah.
And then, you're getting pedicures with a size 15
Pedicures, that's right. We
foot.
got into
Yeah,
pedicures. We got into prison talent shows. It was,
Yeah.
it's going to feel like a Big Mike menagerie tonight.
Yeah. Mickey Hart of Grateful Dead.
Mickey Hart loves meth.
Loves meth.
That's,
All right.
Yeah. Al Pacino and Robert De Niro inspired us that we could still impregnate women late into our years.
Technically so. I mean, your dad is 56 years old.
My dad was 56 when I was born.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And then let's see. What? There's a prison.
Yeah.
There's a
yeah,
talent
yeah,
show
I
at
have
the
a
prison that pays $30 in
Yeah.
commissary
yeah.
for the grand prize winner. And if that's
Yeah. $30 a commissary.
If that's not
Yeah.
exactly like comedy,
Yeah,
then
you
I
could
don't
just sell
know.
some fried chicken and ice cream that you have to eat immediately because you don't have a refrigerator. Commissary day is like Mardi Gras in prison. Right, because you spent like 2 weeks eating like the worst
Except there's
and
no
just, like
titties.
institutional food, right?
Yes.
And all of a sudden you just get like the most ridiculous salty items possible. You know? Yeah.
What are you hoping to accomplish for this next week, Mike?
Let's see. All right, next week. I'm hoping to defeat my last 2 divine beasts on Zelda Breath of the Wild video games.
All right. Are you planning on?
I want to do a brand new 5 Minutes Tuesday at Nomads.
So how are you gonna do that second part? How are you gonna do that 5 minutes at Nomads?
Man, I've already got like some parts written out, right? They're definitely going with like kind of Christmas theme, right?
Yep.
But like that's the biggest challenge for me. Not the biggest, but one of my challenges, like I have a hard time repeating material.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't like it. I already said it.
Because you're bored.
Yeah, right. But that's not good because like, and usually, I think one of the things I've been really proud of, like since I started this comic endeavor, is like I write a lot of material. And you and I both know you see a lot of people at open mics who got the same 5 minutes
I'm guilty of that. Yeah.
every week. But
No.
But no. Oh, you do more than that too. But like me too. Like
I try to I'm conscious of that.
yeah.
That
I like
don't
writing new
want-
material.
Well, I don't want to take the easy way out every time.
Yeah. I mean, usually, a lot of times when I do like repeated material, it's because I've kind of blanked out right on stage and I remember something, right?
And
Yeah.
that's what happens when I go up to headline at a bar or whatever. It's like, all right, Conrad, you're on for 40, and I'm like, where do I start?
Yeah.
And then I guess with me it was cheap. It was like my second time headlining. Well, I guess both times actually. Well, second time worse than the first one. I bring my guitar on stage and I play a song while everybody leaves, And then at my first headlining gig, I played a song, and then I remembered 7 more minutes.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. But to be honest, you really always look at ease on stage.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I know. People say like no one said that about me, but they say like it looks like you're really confident. And I was like, I appreciate you think that, but like on the inside, yeah.
Well, no, that's
but
how it is for
the big change for me, because in the beginning, I'd always just be like so terrified. I think part of it was like I thought I had to be like a different person, right, on stage, right? But then like once, I just like Big Mike, like when I'm on stage talking shit about whatever, I'm the same motherfucker in the kitchen.
What really gave me perspective on that was, my little brother saw me for the first time doing stand-up, after 3 years of doing it or whatever. And, when I wouldn't feel bad about asking him to come to a show type of shit. And he told me, it's like, oh, it's you, just more so.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. I kind of feel the same way about my comedy. Like I heard someone say that like country music is just white people talking about what they're doing at the moment. Right? Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah, like it means a little bit like storytelling. And I don't know, but I've said it before, it's like ridiculous like how important it's become to me.
Well, you've been consistent in coming out.
Yeah.
Especially considering that you don't have a car.
Yeah, I'll walk. Yeah, Mike
shit,
Moreau will give me a ride sometimes.
Well, no, walking to open mic. At risk of sounding
Yeah,
like it's a fat joke, but
man,
that's
I love like Tuesday night at Nomads is like my big night. You know, like I get to talk to like young comedians, and they're patient with me as I repeat the same story over and over again, and you know, and have some beers, be funny for 5 minutes, and man, it's such a big payoff. It's such a big payoff for me when I have a good night. It's like 2 or 3 in the morning before I can go to sleep because like I'm a little kid wound up when I get home, like so excited. Like I mean, yeah, like a big laugh helps, you know.
I got nuts from this
But
guy.
yeah. But like even though you don't remember it, it all started with you encouraging me to do it the first time.
I don't like that you say I don't remember it. Every
You
single
told
time.
me you didn't remember it one time from stage.
What? Well, yeah, no, I might have been just.
Yeah.
Was that a kava bar?
But I feel
remember
like
that. Was it? Were you working on the food truck row?
yeah, food truck.
Was
and
it at
BAM?
the green one? Yeah. No, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I walked over to Kava Bar. I think I did a bit about how I won't call anyone who I think weak is a
I used to go to Bangkok, Paris.
Yeah.
That black one at the end.
Yeah.
That Chinese lady, dude. She
Yeah.
had such a fucking incredible story, dude.
Yeah.
And it was the best, dude. The curry, I think it's like number 12. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, and then
whenever they
just
were closed, I'd
like
go slumber.
your encouragement, you know, and I always appreciate your feedback. Cameron's always very encouraging.
Well, dude, like,
And like, you know, he's letting me like I think I'm gonna try to like start hosting like once a month just because like I'm so
you should. Well, okay, so like, getting back to what I was saying before we started recording, I think is that if anything that other people complain about having to do is something that you want to do.
yeah.
And
Yeah, like, I am
it sucks
definitely
for the reasons that they say that it sucks. But as soon as you can make a habit out of that and turn it automatic, then like,
Yeah, like I'm definitely like the most uncomfortable hosting because I'm up there a lot.
well, yeah.
And I feel awkward every time my fat ass has to walk back and forth from the stage, right?
and I've hosted.
But
I don't know. I've hosted 2 open mics now for at least longer than a year straight.
yeah,
So like, you know, I got like at least 2 years of
yeah.
saying everybody's name.
Like, but I enjoy being challenged
Well, good.
at the same time, right? Like, so I think it's all about growing, right? And like, so, and also that's why like I want to do more rooms in this Nomads because I feel like for me personally, like Nomads like home field, right? Like they know
Yeah.
Big Mike, right?
No, that's how I feel.
Right? So like you need to like go places where they don't know who Big Mike is, right? And like see if your material's good. Not because I feel like in some ways like the tail wags the dog, right? Right. At some point, if people are used to laughing at you, you'll get laugh easier.
No, that's exactly right.
Right? You know what I'm
And well, here's the. That never ends. That little thing you're talking about, like that goes all the way up. So
Yeah.
like, and I was trying to figure this out. I worked as the sound guy at the Grove for about a year and change, and one of the biggest things that happened was like Rob Schneider came to town, and
Making copies.
well, shout out to Rob Schneider.
Yeah, that's his bit from Saturday Night Live.
I don't know. I'm not that big of a fan. I couldn't figure out watching the shows. He sold out 12 in a row. I couldn't figure out watching the shows if the comedy was good or if they all just wanted to get the picture taken with Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that type of shit doesn't really matter because he was able to do the job, and there were people in the audience, and they enjoyed themselves. And it doesn't matter what reason that is, you know, like that is the job. Anyway, the thing that bothered me, it was right after the pandemic, and we had people who were like calling in from like out of state, driving up to do unpaid spots so they could say that they work with Rob Schneider, you know? And 3 people got to do it. The 3rd person made any joke about the pandemic. Rob Schneider had like 30 minutes, 35 minutes on the pandemic. And it wasn't like black belt shit. It was like, here's how you push your nose over the, you know,
Right.
like not
I gotta take a bathroom break. I'm so sorry, but do you want to end it or?
Oh, yeah, no, that'll do. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into the Conrad Show. This has been me and Big Mike. It's okay, we got the wide angle on this one.
Yeah, man. 54.
Hey, thank you, Mike, by the way.